I didn't really have too much left. I didn't really know how to write songs like that at the time. Trap Queen was like my third song I ever wrote. And
What's up, guys? Back with another video. It's been about 1 or 2 months since I uploaded, but we're not gonna talk about that. Here we are. Now, in the past week, and some change, Fetty Wap has been trending all over social media. Everyone's been reminiscing about his 2015 takeover, his uprising, banger after banger, radio, club, closest friend, high school, college, wherever you were. If you went to hip hop, you listen to country or whatever, we're not gonna talk about you. You probably don't even care. No disrespect to country music, all the disrespect. Anyway, before I get sidetracked, Fetty Wap was everywhere. He was the new face. Everybody was expecting him to come, not take over the game, but be that one artist that's like, oh shit, he gonna be dropping bangers, be staying on the radios. And of course, things didn't play that part. Now, as you saw in the clip in the beginning of the video, that's already the first seed that eventually, the first thing that's gonna trouble his career. The third song he ever made manages to make its way all the way to the Billboard Top 10 several months later. Now, that isn't a bad thing per se, but it doesn't help him out longevity wise. Now, to get to it, Trap Queen, we all know what Trap Queen is. I will hope you know what Trap Queen is. If you don't, go on YouTube, Spotify, wherever, go listen to it, come back. Now, he originally debuted the song on SoundCloud. It gained traction, over 130 million plays. Back when SoundCloud was popping, it still is, people disrespect it, but now it has this negative stigma about a SoundCloud rapper. We all get it. And then from there, he eventually released 679, which was another banger. So the timeline was late 2014, I believe it was December. He dropped Trap Queen, and then all the way up until June before he dropped 679. So from that 6-month span, he just slowly gained the traction. Now here's the thing. When you're an artist on the come up, unless you have the backing of a major label or major cosigns in the industry, it's gonna take you months, at the quickest, example here, months, realistically years to blow up to a point where your music's being played all over the country, if that's the kind of artist you are, for hits. Now, with Fetty Wap, third song ever, he doesn't really have a rhythm set. He doesn't really have a plan when it comes to music. I'll probably link the video down below where you could watch the full interview, but he just started it. He didn't really know what to, exactly his go-to way of doing it. Repeating myself here, but to continue on, he doesn't have something to fall back on. You're gonna listen to Trap Queen, or at least back then when people did, and if you wanted to know more about Fetty Wap, you only had two songs, honestly, that you could fall back on and be like this, whether you like him or hate him, decide if you're gonna be a fan or not. Now, when it comes to hitting the mainstream like Fetty Wap, having the mainstream attention is good to blow you up, of course, but it doesn't last. They will get tired of you. Your music's gonna get overplayed, and if you don't have that hardcore fan base or even a casual fan base to carry your music, carry your name, introduce it to other people, you're gonna start burning out. Now, fortunately for Fetty Wap, he was dropping bangers. You gotta give him credit. Back in 2015, almost all his hits, you heard somebody down the street, you heard somebody in your class, wherever you were hearing a Fetty Wap track. And you were enjoying it. If you didn't, you might want to stop being near people. You're probably not enjoyable to be on the aux. But with that, here comes the second biggest part. He got a Drake feature. Now, Drake wasn't number one in the world like he was today, but 2015 was legendary for Drake too. But getting a Drake feature, that's able to birth a career. You're able to stay relevant. Your name is not going to be attached to all these blogs, whether it's just they're focusing on Drake. It's Fetty Wap song, Fetty Wap and Drake. And from here, he's going to continue to stay above. He's going to continue to have traction. And then, of course, over the next couple months, things aren't going to go to a complete standstill, but there's only one direction you're going to go when you're that high up, and that's down. He's not Taylor Swift, he's not Kanye West, he doesn't have that track history to hold him up, so it only makes sense. Now, that isn't a bad thing. Falling off from that height, people make it seem like, oh, he's garbage, or damn, he wasn't even good enough. That's the only realistic way you can go. He still doesn't have a discography to fall back on. He doesn't have that go-to money-making hit sound or anything like that to, continue on forever. If you don't change your sound or change yourself up or have some type of grand personality, there's only one direction to go. Now, over that time, of course, He released Jimmy Choo and 2016 Wake Up. And I'm not gonna list all the hits because it isn't gonna be completely detailed, but for the most part he continued to drop some bangers. Of course, it wasn't the same magnitude as 679, Track Queen, My Way. Yeah, I should drink more water when I record. Still not used to this. Now, another thing that came up was baby mama drama. Listen, if you're not trying to have baby mama drama, you're not trying to let it ruin your career, use a fucking condom. It ain't that difficult. Now, this played a part. Well, we would like to assume it played a part in derailing his music career, but you know, he got to deal with his own personal life. And then from there, he wasn't really featured on anybody else. You didn't really see Fetty Wap featured with too many other mainstream artists. I can't quote it exactly, but let me see if I can find it and put it in the description down below. He didn't want other people to blow his career up or something along that line. Let me see if I can find it. Not in a negative way, but he didn't want to only be carried by features. There we go. He wanted to carry his own name, which I respect, but you gotta think about yourself strategically here. Now, of course, the big question is, can he make a comeback? And can he make a comeback to how he was 2015? No. At this point in his career, he can't. And not to knock him down, is just, hey, and you enjoyed your run. It was what it was. Now, can he get at a point where, you know, it's still respectable? Kind of like, oh shit, a Fetty Wap feature? You already know it's gonna be a bang. You know, he had, what was it? And I think it was Kiki with 6ix9ine that, you know, Fetty Wap feature, that banged pretty good. But aside from that, you know, he's doing his own thing. Has over 8 million followers on Spotify. Listening to him last year, he racked up over 300 million streams, and those are really good numbers. A lot of people think if they're not pulling Drake numbers, Post Malone numbers, that, oh, it's a flop. It doesn't really matter. Those are still great numbers. You got to stop comparing these superstars to people that are, you know, still do good music or good stats in their own lane. So I think, can he make a comeback to that? No. Can he make a comeback enough to where, you know, it's like, oh shit, we could hear him on the radio every now and then on a good feature? Of course, absolutely. But that's about it. Those are my 2 cents. When the next video's coming, I'm not gonna promise anything, but stay tuned, subscribe, drop a like. I'm out.